What is this? Oh yeah, I always sleep with that on. Where am I at?
Lost in the benevolence of events that have transpired, he has risen, a mind in a misty fog, body riddled with confusion, and an appetite for knowledge that seems to be insatiable.
Is somebody talking?
He is unaware of his whereabouts.
Is that a piano?
It seems as if
Who is that?
he's not in Kansas anymore. 3, he's never been to Kansas.
Kansas?
And 4,
Talking about Kansas.
he's not in Kansas, but rather Kentucky.
Kentucky?
I'm hungry. Let's go figure it out. What's up, YouTube? I'm back. Currently, I am in Kentucky. I'm actually visiting my girlfriend right now. She has to do like an extern for her school for the Southern College of Optometry. So I decided to come up here and pay her a little visit since I got the day off of work. But that means I gotta wake up super early and head back in the morning. I like work, so it doesn't matter, and I'm an early bird anyways when I need to be. Other than that, I'm probably not. Anyways, this is going to be more of a breakdown of the first 3 months that I've had. I know I said I was gonna try to condense a 10-month span into like a video, and then I realized I could talk for about 2 minutes basically on one subject. So I was like, am I gonna do a 20-minute video? I think not. So for the next 3 videos, I will do a 3-month crunch. That's what we'll call 3-month crunch. It's great. Now, before I get into this 3-month crunch, I wanna just go ahead and tell you guys, I'm not gonna remember every little detail. I will try my best to remember the important facts and things that kind of stuck with me. I need some coffee. Oh wow, that really, this really works, guys. Wow. I wonder what it is. It's my favorite. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Oh, this is it. Okay. So for the first month, it was really like the basic intro stuff to any company you may join, like, you know, welcome to our company. This is what you'll be doing as your general task. And that's pretty much what we did for like the first month. I mean, we got in there, and then, you know, as a developer coming from Code Crew, I never thought about this, but setting up machines takes a lot longer, especially when you don't realize all the tools that you need. Like, we came from Code Crew where we already been supplied laptops that have already like had all the images of whatever like languages and frameworks where we're gonna need, all the IDEs that we would probably need, like Android Studio or IntelliJ, like all these things already installed on our machine. So we get our first assignment, which is pretty much learning how to use like this Shopify interface. This is another part of our first month, is learning how to use the Shopify interface, which is a content management site basically used for like selling products or basic e-commerce. But before that, you know, there were some other things we needed to learn how to do, and we need to re-familiarize ourselves with like using languages like Python and Django. There's like a little mini project we wanted to get set up. We spent about a good week to 2 weeks not only getting acclimated to the company, but also understanding that none of these things automatically come pre-installed on a machine. So like, we were running into so many basic problems. Like, we were getting errors like, why won't this run Python? When I keep typing in Python run whatever, and it would just be terrible. Cause I'm like, I don't get it. Turns out I never had Python installed on the machine that I automatically thought come pre-installed on machines. Not the case at all. So what did I learn in my first month? Coming from Code Crew, transitioning into the company that I work for now, nothing is pre-installed. There's a lot of acclimation that you're gonna have to do outside of actually being a developer. So like, probably the first month is not you really developing, and if anything, from what I hear, other companies, you're pretty much sandboxing things and getting used to their technologies. But even then, you still have to get acclimated to the company, the culture, the social norms within that company. Like, it's a lot. So yes, you are there to be a developer, but this is where the soft skills come in, because you need to understand how to communicate with not only your boss and your higher ups and just your peers and everyone around you, and just get used to the culture. And to reiterate, nothing comes pre-installed on your machines, at least from my experience of being at this company. Make sure if you're going to use any kind of language or framework, you need to go ahead and get it installed. And there's probably other things you'll have to install along with databases, and I can't think of anything else at this present moment. But there's tons of things you're gonna have to have installed, and you're gonna have to configure your computer in certain ways. It's a lot starting out. All right, time for the second month. So in month 2, of course, we're still getting acclimated to the culture around us, but you start digging a little deeper into your role. They start kind of easing you into what you'll be doing, which kind of helps alleviate some of the things you may feel when you're first starting out, like imposter syndrome, which, I mean, yeah, it's there, but it's not something you should really adhere to. I mean, it's just that self-doubt in your mind that says you can't do it when you know you can do it. But I think within our second month, we started really digging into this Shopify interface, because that's where our main front end hub was going to be at. And that is also where I learned this devil language called Liquid. It sucks, but it's a templating language, and it's not something I haven't seen before. I really spent about a week or 2 digging into that, adding in certain little snippets to make our site a little more specialized than other sites. It is still the devil language to this day. I have to go back into it sometimes, but I don't like it as much. I know it a lot better, still don't like it. Going along with that, we started digging into where our company houses their data, and trying to make a transition between the front end site and the back end site. Now, we really didn't have a back end site, so we had to start going into like AWS for cloud computing, setting up back end instances for our databases, server-side instances, so we can have stuff running 24/7. We can always have access to it. And while we've had familiarization with this in Code Crew, on an in-depth level of cloud computing and just really digging in there and having a company, say, we really need you to set up stuff for us so we can have access to it, and so our customers or clients or whoever we may need can also have access to it 24/7. It's when things really start getting intense. But rest assured, we weren't in any trouble or, any peril, because we are beginning devs, and they understood that, and they worked with us. And I mean, there's a lot of training courses we had to take. We take training courses to this day if we need it. And we do venture out into learning new things. But that was the majority, the bulk of month 2. So we can now slide into month 3. So month 3, we're still digging in there. We're just getting in there, okay? But no, now this is really where our roles kind of start splitting away from each other. The 2 other developers I was with, now we're all full stack developers. We all came from Code Crew, and that means we can handle any part of the spectrum of developing that you need us to handle. Now, it's not that we all couldn't work together on piece, but sometimes it's nice to have that own specialized role that somebody can handle. Like, for instance, somebody may not like front end just as much as, let's say, I like front end. Or someone may not like doing more DevOps things as much as somebody may like doing back end. But either way it goes, there's those specializations within each of those developers that help make the workflow a lot easier. And whenever we need to come together and handle back-end things, that's the good part about being full stack is, let's say, if I am mainly working on front end, and let's say person C is not available, I can easily hop on back end. It may take me a little more time than him, but that doesn't mean I don't know what I'm doing. It's just a matter of being a full stack developer. Like, you have things that you really like and things that you're capable of doing. That's a good perk. I will say though, sorry guys, my brain kind of just blanked out at what I was about to say. So anyways, in month 3, there's a lot more going on. Now we're working in trying to spruce up our front end site to match what our brand is supposed to be. So I will say I was working on front end majority of the time and making sure we had certain things up, like the recipes that needed to be there, the certain photos. There's a lot of tweaking I had to do on the front end. We had to still work with AWS and cloud computing. So there was another developer, you guys know her, Jemiah Moore, who is actually working more on DevOps and setting up AWS and cloud computing. Also, great person. And person C, Ray Green, who was actually working more on our back end, making sure the logic would tie the data from our original database to our new database. So there was a lot of moving parts in there that were going on. And speaking of moving parts, let me get to this side story. As you may be a developer in a startup company, you may not always be developing. Some days you may be stuck moving boxes or trying recipes or cooking, or working with this thing called RingCentral to make sure that your admin phone service is working correctly. I had that task. It's not what's up. But I was hungry and I was willing to learn anything, and I'm also eager to learn how a business works. So sometimes you're gonna get tasks that you don't necessarily like, but it's best to just do it and knock it out. You know, one, it shows that you're capable of doing anything, making you a more valuable employee. And two, I mean, you may learn something you didn't know at first and you may like it. I didn't, but who's to say that wouldn't happen for you guys? But for the bulk of month 3, it was us literally separating into different roles and fluidly working the system the best way we knew how. There was a lot of things we didn't know, so it took a lot longer for us to get through things. But, I mean, for us starting out as the only developers there with no higher up, I think we're doing pretty good at our pace. That's the bulk of month 3, though. So for this 3-month crunch, I think that's all I can remember that I can cover. If anybody has had any different experience as a first-year developer, please let me know what happened in your first 3 months. I like to talk and chat, compare it. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to hear. So this pretty much wraps up the end of this video. If you like this video, you guys know what to do. Give me a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, there's no such thing as bad publicity, but give me a thumbs up. Don't give me a thumbs down. Just like it out of niceness, because I know you're nice. Please comment. I will chat back with you. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. This is really helping me out. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of the year. I think I can do it if I'm just consistent and ask enough people. So yeah, or ask your friends to subscribe. So like, share, subscribe. Oh, before I go, make sure you guys go to podcast and check out Talk with Maya. That's MYIAH. Talk with Maya. You can hear about the ins and outs of her life and her life as a developer now. Again, that's Talk with Maya, MYIAH. Thank you guys. Have a good day and or night.